English is easy and enjoyable.
Hi, everyone. It is so good to have you here with us again, sitting down, ready to learn something new together.
Yes, I'm James, and I am genuinely excited about today's topic because I think almost every single person watching this is going to relate to it.
And I'm Jenny, and honestly, James, I already know exactly which part they're going to relate to because it happened to me too, more than once.
Okay, well, before we get there, we have a question for you, our viewer, and I really want you to actually stop and think about it for a second. Don't just skip past it.
Okay, I'm ready. Ask them, James. Let's see if they say yes in their heads.
Okay. Have you ever been standing in line at a coffee shop, maybe even in another country, feeling a little nervous already, and then the barista suddenly turns to you and asks something simple like, "How's your morning going?"
Oh no, James, please don't remind me of this. I already know exactly where this is going.
And in that exact moment, your brain just freezes completely. You know English, you have studied it for years, maybe you even passed exams with good grades, but in that one small moment, absolutely nothing comes out of your mouth.
James, that is literally 100% exactly what happened to me once when I was traveling in London a few years ago.
Wait. That actually happened to you? You have to tell me the whole story right now. I need details.
Yes, I promise you it really did happen. I was standing there feeling so nervous already, and the barista smiled at me and said in this very friendly voice, "Good morning, how are you today?"
Okay, and what did you say back to her? I'm almost afraid to ask.
I just looked at her, and for some reason, the only word that came out of my mouth was coffee.
Wait, you seriously just said the word coffee? That was your entire answer to her question?
That was genuinely my entire answer, James. Just the single word, coffee. Nothing else. I had a whole conversation planned out perfectly in my head, and somehow it all just disappeared the second she looked at me.
Honestly, Jenny, this is so normal, and I really want everyone listening to hear that clearly because this exact thing happens to so many English learners all over the world every single day.
It really does. And here's the thing. The morning is actually one of the trickiest times of day to speak a new language because your brain isn't fully awake yet. And on top of that, people are asking you fast, casual little questions.
Right, and that is precisely what today's episode is all about. So let's get into it properly.
Today, we're calling this episode Start Your Day with English. And I think it's going to be one of the most useful episodes we've done in a while.
And here is our promise to you, our lovely listener, and we really mean this. By the end of this episode, you are going to be able to have a full, natural, flowing morning conversation in English from the moment you wake up.
We're talking about how to describe how you slept, how to talk about what you're doing today, how to chat casually about the weather, how to answer questions about breakfast, and finally, how to say a warm goodbye as you head out the door.
That's right. And I promise you, this is going to be so much more than just single panicked words like coffee.
Not just coffee, James, please. I have genuinely improved a lot since that day in London. I promise you all that.
I know. And honestly, it's such a perfect little story, though, because it shows exactly why mornings are full of fast, casual small talk. And small talk really is one of the hardest parts of learning any new language.
So today, we are going to slow absolutely everything down for you, step by step. We're going to give you real, natural phrases, useful patterns you can reuse again and again, and we're even going to practice a full morning conversation together, live, right here in this very episode.
Sound good to everyone listening?
Sounds great to me. Let's not waste another second. Let's get started right now.
Okay, Jenny, let's begin at the very beginning, the exact moment when your eyes first open in the morning.
Perfect place to start. So, James, tell me honestly, how did you sleep last night? Was it a good one or a rough one?
Ooh, that's actually a great question to start with. Honestly, I slept really well last night, so I would say quite happily. I slept like a baby.
I slept like a baby. I absolutely love that expression. And for anyone listening who isn't sure, it simply means you slept very well, deeply, peacefully, with no problems at all through the whole night.
Exactly. And there's another version of that same idea too, which I honestly use just as often. You can also say, I slept like a log.
A log? Wait, you mean like an actual piece of wood lying on the ground?
Yes, exactly that. A piece of wood. And the reason we use it is because a log never moves. It just sits there completely still. So, if you say you slept like a log, it means you barely moved at all during the whole night. Very deep, very heavy sleep.
Okay, so let's put that together clearly for everyone. We have two really natural ways to say you slept well. I slept like a baby, or I slept like a log. Both of them basically mean the exact same thing, a really good, really deep sleep.
Right. But, Jenny, here's the flip side of that question. What if someone actually had a bad night's sleep? What would we say then in that kind of situation?
That's a really good question, and honestly, this happens to me too sometimes. If I had a rough night, I might say something like, I barely slept a wink.
A wink? Wait, do you mean like blinking your eyes really quickly, that kind of wink?
Yes, exactly that kind of wink. And here, a wink of sleep basically means just a tiny, tiny amount of sleep. So when you say, I barely slept a wink, it means you almost didn't sleep at all the whole night through.
Oh, I really like that one. It's such a vivid little phrase. So the formula here is actually pretty simple once you break it down. I slept like a blank for describing a good night's sleep, or I barely slept a wink for describing a really bad one.
Exactly right. And you can build on these even more, too, if you want to add a little more detail. You could also say, I slept okay, but I woke up a few times in the night. Or you could say, I tossed and turned pretty much all night long.
Ooh, tossed and turned. That's such a great one. And I use that phrase a lot myself. It basically means you kept moving around in bed, turning from side to side, trying to get comfortable, but you just couldn't seem to fall asleep properly.
Right. So now, altogether, you actually have three really useful tools in your pocket. I slept like a baby, or I slept like a log for a wonderful night of sleep. I tossed and turned for a restless, uncomfortable night. And I barely slept a wink for almost no sleep at all.
Perfect. I think that covers sleep really nicely. Now let's move forward a little bit in our imaginary morning. You're finally awake, you're out of bed, standing up, moving around the kitchen. What's usually the very next thing people start talking about?
Breakfast, definitely, or coffee. Or honestly, in my case, it's usually both of those things happening at the exact same time.
Both, always both for me too, honestly. I don't think I've ever chosen just one over the other. Okay, so let's imagine I turn to you and ask, did you have breakfast yet?
That's such a common, everyday question. And here's the interesting thing about it. The answer isn't always a simple yes or a simple no. There are so many natural, casual ways to actually answer that question.
Go on then. Show us a few of them, Jenny.
Okay, so let's say I already ate something this morning. In that case, I could say, yeah, I grabbed a quick bite before I left the house. And that basically means I ate something fast, small, and simple. Definitely not a big, sit-down meal.
Grabbed a quick bite. I really like that phrase, because the word grab makes the whole thing sound fast and easy, which honestly is exactly how a lot of us actually eat breakfast in real life, isn't it?
Exactly, that's precisely it. And now, on the other hand, if I haven't eaten yet at all, I might say something like, not yet, I'm running a little behind this morning.
Running behind. That means you're a bit late. Or maybe that you just don't have as much time as you'd like. Is that right?
Yes, exactly right. I'm running behind. Or you could also say I'm running late. And both of those phrases mean the exact same basic thing. You simply don't have as much time this morning as you had originally planned.
Okay. And here's one more situation. What about someone who just doesn't eat breakfast at all, ever? Some people really do just skip it completely every single day.
In that case, you could say something like, honestly, I'm not much of a breakfast person. And that's a really natural, relaxed way of saying, I don't usually eat breakfast in the mornings.
I absolutely love that pattern. I'm not much of a blank person. And here's the great thing. You can actually use that pattern for so many different situations, not just breakfast. I'm not much of a morning person. I'm not much of a coffee person. I'm not much of a big breakfast person.
Oh, that really is such a useful pattern, James. And honestly, you can use it in so many other everyday situations too, way beyond just talking about breakfast.
Exactly. And that's really why we love teaching patterns like this one instead of just handing you a long list of single sentences to memorize. Once you truly learn the pattern itself, you can build your very own new sentences with it, in almost any situation you find yourself in.
So let's do a quick little recap of this small section, just to make it stick. If someone asks you, "Did you have breakfast yet?" you now have three natural options. You can say, "Yeah, I grabbed a quick bite." Or, "Not yet, I'm running a little behind this morning." Or, "Honestly, I'm not much of a breakfast person."
I absolutely love that pattern. I'm not much of a blank person. And here's the great thing. You can actually use that pattern for so many different situations, not just breakfast. I'm not much of a morning person. I'm not much of a coffee person. I'm not much of a big breakfast person.
Oh, that really is such a useful pattern, James. And honestly, you can use it in so many other everyday situations too, way beyond just talking about breakfast.
Exactly. And that's really why we love teaching patterns like this one instead of just handing you a long list of single sentences to memorize. Once you truly learn the pattern itself, you can build your very own new sentences with it, in almost any situation you find yourself in.
So let's do a quick little recap of this small section, just to make it stick. If someone asks you, "Did you have breakfast yet?" you now have three natural options. You can say, "Yeah, I grabbed a quick bite." Or, "Not yet, I'm running a little behind this morning." Or, "Honestly, I'm not much of a breakfast person."
Three completely natural answers, all a little bit different from each other, and all genuinely common in real everyday English conversations.
Now, James, let's talk about coffee for a moment, because for a lot of people out there, that's really the more important question in the morning, honestly.
Oh, for me personally, coffee is really not optional at all. It's basically a requirement for my body to function properly in the morning.
Same here, honestly. 100% the same for me, too.
So, if someone asks me, "Have you had your coffee yet?" I might say something like, "Not yet, but I really need it though." Or, "I'm just about to go make some right now."
I'm just about to. That's such a great little pattern, too. And it basically means you are going to do something very, very soon, almost right this second, basically.
Exactly right. I'm just about to make coffee. I'm just about to leave the house. I'm just about to start work for the day. It really shows that something is happening in just a moment, right now, essentially.
Great. So now altogether, we have some really solid, reliable tools for talking about sleep, talking about breakfast, and talking about coffee. Let's move on now to the next part of a typical morning, chatting casually about the weather.
Ah, yes, the weather. Honestly, this might genuinely be the single most common small talk topic in English, in pretty much any English-speaking country you could visit.
It really truly is. So, James, let's imagine this scene together. You're leaving your house for the day, and your neighbor turns to you and says, "How's the weather looking today?"
Okay, so if it happens to be a really hot day outside, I might say something like, "It's gonna be a scorcher." And that basically means it's going to be extremely, extremely hot outside today.
A scorcher. That is such a fun, colorful word. I genuinely love that one. It always makes me smile a little.
And, on the other hand, if it's actually cold outside, you could instead say, "It's freezing out there today." Or you could say, "There's a real chill in the air this morning."
And what about when it's raining, or when it might possibly rain a little later in the day?
In that case, you could say something like, "Better bring an umbrella with you today." Or, "It looks like it might rain a bit later this afternoon."
Those are all really great examples, and here's a pattern that genuinely works for absolutely any kind of weather at all. It's supposed to be blank today. You can fill in that blank with almost anything you can think of. It's supposed to be sunny today. It's supposed to be really windy today. It's supposed to rain later this evening.
That is such a genuinely useful phrase, because essentially it means "the weather forecast says," but it sounds so much shorter and so much more natural in real conversation than actually saying the full phrase, "according to the weather forecast."
Exactly right. And honestly, native speakers almost never actually say, "according to the weather forecast," in casual everyday conversation. We really just say quite simply, "it's supposed to be."
Okay, Jenny, let's pause right here for just a moment, because I genuinely think this is the perfect time to actually practice everything we've learned so far, all together, in one real flowing conversation. What do you think about that?
Yes, I absolutely love this idea. Let's do a little role play together right now, a full morning conversation from the very beginning to the very end.
Perfect. Let's set the scene properly first. So imagine I'm your neighbor, and we've just happened to run into each other outside early in the morning, both of us heading off to work at the same time.
Okay, I'm ready for this. Let's go ahead and do it.
Good morning, Jenny. How's it going with you today?
Good morning, James. How did you sleep last night? Did you get some good rest?
Honestly, I slept like a log. I really didn't move at all the whole night. How about you? How was your night?
Not too bad, honestly, but I did toss and turn a little bit in the middle of the night. I think I probably had way too much coffee yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, that would definitely do it. Coffee in the afternoon can really mess with your sleep. Hey, by the way, did you have breakfast yet this morning?
Not yet, actually. I'm running a little behind schedule this morning. I'm just about to grab something small on my way to work.
Same here, honestly. Though I'm not much of a breakfast person anyway, so it doesn't really bother me too much.
Fair enough. I guess that makes sense. Hey, how's the weather looking today? Do you think I'll need to bring a jacket with me?
It's supposed to be pretty cold this morning, actually. There's a real chill in the air right now, so I'd definitely say bring one along with you.
Okay, good to know. Thank you so much for the warning. Well, I think I better get going now. I really don't want to end up being late for work.
Me too, honestly. Same here. Have a great day, Jenny. I hope everything goes well for you.
You too, James. Thank you so much. I'll see you later this evening, probably.
And there it is. That's it. That's a full, real, natural morning conversation, start to finish.
And notice something really important here. We didn't actually use anything complicated at all in that whole conversation. Every single phrase we used, we had already taught you just a few minutes ago in this episode.
Exactly. And that's honestly the whole point of what we're doing here. These aren't fancy, complicated academic phrases at all. These are the real, genuine words that real people actually use every single morning, all across the English-speaking world.
I really genuinely want you to try pausing the video right here and repeating that entire conversation along with us. Even better, try saying both parts yourself, James's lines and mine both, out loud.
Yes, please do try that. Speaking these phrases out loud, even alone in your own room with nobody else listening, really does help your mouth and your brain get used to using these phrases naturally.
Okay, James, should we keep going a bit further? I think there's still one more big part of the morning that we haven't fully covered yet.
Yes, absolutely. Talking about your plans for the day ahead, what you're actually going to do, what you're looking forward to, that kind of everyday conversation.
Right, exactly. So imagine someone turns to you and asks, "What's on your schedule today?" Or maybe, "What are you up to today?"
Both of those questions really mean the exact same basic thing. They're both just asking, what are your plans for today, in slightly different casual ways.
Exactly right. So, how would you personally answer a question like that, James, if someone asked you right now?
Well, I could say something like, I've got a pretty busy day ahead of me today. And that basically means I have quite a lot of things to do today. My schedule is fairly full.
A busy day ahead. I really like that one. And on the other hand, what if it's actually a really quiet, easy, relaxed kind of day for you?
Then you could say something like, nothing much going on actually, just a pretty relaxed day for me. Or you could say, I'm keeping it pretty low-key today.
Low key, that's such a great word, and it basically means something simple, relaxed, and not too exciting or busy at all.
Exactly right. And I'm keeping it low-key is honestly something you'll hear all the time in casual, everyday English conversations.
And what if there's actually something specific coming up that you're genuinely excited about?
Then you could say, I'm really looking forward to it. And that's honestly the perfect pattern for talking about something good that's coming up in your day. I'm looking forward to my meeting this afternoon. I'm looking forward to having lunch with my friend. I'm looking forward to the weekend finally arriving.
Oh, I use that exact phrase constantly, all the time, in so many different situations. I'm looking forward to. It's such a natural phrase, and honestly, it instantly makes you sound so much more fluent, even if you're still a beginner in English.
It really, truly does. It's a fairly simple pattern to learn, but it instantly makes your English sound so much smoother and so much more natural overall.
Okay, James, can I actually tell you a quick little story? Something real that genuinely happened to me a while back?
Please, yes, of course. Go right ahead. I'd love to hear it.
So, a few years ago now, I was actually living with a host family up in Canada, back when I was still very much learning English myself. And every single morning, without fail, the host mom would ask me the exact same question. So, what's on your schedule today?
Wait, every single morning, without exception? That's dedication.
Every single morning, yes, I promise you. And at first, honestly, I had absolutely no idea how to answer that question properly. I would just say something like, I go to school. That was it. That was my entire answer. Very simple, honestly, kind of boring.
Very direct, though. I'll give you that much credit.
Very direct, indeed, yes. But after a few weeks had passed, I actually started paying close attention to how she answered her own question whenever I asked it back to her in return. And she would say things like, I've got a pretty packed day today. I have 3 meetings lined up. Or, nothing much going on today, just relaxing at home for once.
So basically, you learned all of this just from carefully copying her actual patterns.
Exactly right. That's precisely what happened. I honestly started stealing her phrases, if I'm being completely truthful about it. And after about a month or so of doing this, I could actually hold a real, genuine conversation with her every single morning, not just give one-word answers anymore.
That's honestly such a great lesson for everyone watching this episode right now. You really don't need to invent brand new sentences from scratch every time. You can simply listen closely to how native speakers answer these questions and then reuse those exact same patterns for yourself.
Exactly. That's really and truly what language learning actually is when you break it down. It's copying good, solid patterns again and again and again until eventually they become completely natural for you, too, without even thinking about it.
I really love that story, Jenny. Thank you for sharing it with us. Okay, let's now cover one final piece of the morning puzzle. Actually leaving the house and saying your goodbyes properly.
Yes, the very last part of the whole morning routine. So, James, what do you usually say right before you actually leave your house each day?
Well, if I happen to be in a bit of a hurry, I might say something like, I need to get going, or I should probably head out now.
Both of those phrases basically mean it's time for me to leave the house now, just said in slightly different, casual ways.
Exactly right. And then, of course, after that, we usually say goodbye to whoever we're talking to. Have a great day is probably the single most common one that people use.
Right, and there are actually some other fun, casual options too that you'll hear a lot. Take care, catch you later, see you this afternoon.
And here's something interesting to notice too. In English, we often like to add a little extra wish onto the end of our goodbyes, like, have a great day and stay warm out there, or have a good one and don't work too hard today.
Oh, that's very true. We really do that a lot in everyday conversation. It's such a small little detail, but honestly, it makes the whole goodbye feel so much warmer and so much friendlier overall.
Exactly right. And small little details like that genuinely do make a real difference in conversation. They show that you actually genuinely care about the other person's day ahead, and you're not just saying empty words to be polite.
Okay, James, should we do one more quick practice round together? This time, let's really focus on plans for the day and on saying goodbye properly at the end.
Yes, absolutely. Let's do it. One more quick round should be perfect.
Okay, here we go. Hey, James, so what's on your schedule for today? Anything interesting planned?
I've actually got a pretty busy day ahead of me today, honestly. I have 2 meetings scheduled for this morning, and I'm really looking forward to having lunch with my brother a bit later on.
Oh, that sounds really nice, especially the lunch part. My day is pretty low-key today, actually. Just some quiet work from home for me.
That sounds pretty relaxing, honestly. Well, I should probably get going now. I really don't want to end up being late for my first meeting of the day.
Okay, have a great day today, James. Good luck with both of your meetings. I hope they go really well for you.
Thank you so much, Jenny. You have a great day too. Take care of yourself out there.
Perfect. And see, that's actually a completely different conversation from before, but it's built from those exact same tools we learned earlier.
Exactly right. And that's honestly the truly beautiful thing about learning patterns like this. Once you really know them well, you can mix and match them together in so many different ways, and every single conversation still ends up feeling fresh, natural, and genuinely real.
I think that's a really great place for us to start wrapping up today's episode now. What do you think about that, James?
I completely agree with you. Let's go ahead and do a quick, relaxed, casual recap of absolutely everything we covered together today.
Okay, so we actually started off with sleep right at the very beginning. If you slept really, really well, you can say, I slept like a baby, or I slept like a log. And if instead you had a rough, difficult night, you can say, I tossed and turned, or I barely slept a wink.
Then, after that, we moved on to talking about breakfast and coffee. I grabbed a quick bite if you already managed to eat something fast this morning. I'm running a little behind if you happen to be short on time today, and I'm not much of a breakfast person if you just simply don't eat much in the morning at all.
After that section, we talked all about the weather together. It's going to be a scorcher, works well for a really hot day. There's a real chill in the air, works nicely for a cold one, and then that very flexible pattern we love. It's supposed to be blank today, which really works for absolutely any kind of weather.
Then we moved forward into talking about your plans for the day ahead. I've got a busy day ahead. I'm keeping it pretty low-key, and of course, that wonderful phrase, I'm really looking forward to it.
And finally, right at the end, we covered actually leaving the house for the day. I need to get going, I should head out, and several different natural ways to say goodbye, like have a great day, take care, and catch you later.
That really is such a huge amount of genuinely useful, genuinely real English, and all of it built around just one simple everyday part of your entire day. The morning.
And here, finally, is the big idea that we really truly want you to remember and carry with you from today's episode. You honestly don't need hundreds and hundreds of new vocabulary words to sound natural and fluent in English. You really just need a small handful of real, flexible patterns and the genuine confidence to actually go out and use them out loud every single day of your life.
That's exactly it, Jenny. Said so perfectly. Small, simple phrases used with real confidence will always take you further in life than big, complicated words that you're honestly too nervous to ever actually say out loud.
So beautifully said, James. I couldn't have put that any better myself.
Okay, now it's finally your turn, our wonderful listener. Here is our special question of the day just for all of you watching and listening right now.
Tell us honestly down in the comments below, how did you personally sleep last night? Did you sleep like a baby, all peaceful and calm, or did you toss and turn a little bit, just like the rest of us sometimes do?
And while you're already down there in the comments, go ahead and tell us what's actually on your schedule for the day too. We would genuinely, truly love to read through all of your answers, so please try using the phrases from today's episode and really practice them right there in the comments section.
Yes, please do try that. It really genuinely helps you remember these new phrases so much better when you actually write them out yourself.
And if this particular episode helped you today even just a little tiny bit, please consider sharing it with a friend who is also out there learning English somewhere. It really, truly does mean the whole world to us, and it genuinely helps this little channel of ours continue to grow.
It really, truly does mean so much to us. Thank you so much from both of us for spending your morning, or honestly, whatever time of day it happens to be for you right now, here together with us today.
We genuinely had such a wonderful time recording this one together, as we always do.
We really, truly did. Until next time then, everyone out there,
Keep practicing every single day, keep smiling through it all, and always remember, Learning English really can be easy and genuinely enjoyable too.
Bye, everyone. Thank you all so much. We will see you very soon in our next episode.
Bye-bye. Take care, everyone.